I'm David Hess. I'm the president of the Jewish Community Foundation of Greater Prescott, and I'm here today to talk about the Jewish Foundation Healthcare Scholarship Program that we just instituted here at Yavapai College. Now, before I talk about the actual program, what I'd like to do is share with you some of the statistics about healthcare and healthcare resources, because that's important to understand what motivated us to put together the scholarship program. If you look at information from the Federal Agency on Aging, approximately 40 million Americans today are over the age of 65 or are Medicare age. By the year 2025, there are going to be 70 million Americans over the age of 65. And the reason that's important is that people over the age of 65 utilize more healthcare resources. So the American Association of Retired People will tell you that about 1 in 2 Medicare patients are treated for more than 5 chronic conditions. So they utilize a lot of our healthcare resources. Now that's important when we look at Medicare populations because Yavapai County, or the area that we live in, is different than the rest of the United States. If you look at the 2010 census, about 13% of people in America are over the age of 65. But if you look at our area, that number is 26%. So if you look at our population, there's about 140,000 people that live within 20 miles of our airport. But from the standpoint of a physician or a healthcare organization, because we have twice as many older people than most communities, our community for the essence of healthcare is like the city of 280,000. Now you're talking about mid-sized American cities like South Bend, Indiana, where the University of Notre Dame is, or Shreveport, Louisiana. So from the standpoint of the number of physicians and nurses and healthcare professionals we need, it's much more than the population would predict. Now, the American Association of Medical Colleges has recently published an article that says we're currently about 65,000 physicians short nationwide. And by 2025, that number will be 130,000 physicians short. The people in California, I can't remember their name now, Kaiser Foundation, who have healthcare facilities out there, have recently done a survey, and they estimate we're going to be 260,000 nurses short in America by the year 2025. So if we look at our situation in the Greater Prescott area, we're considered a rural community, although we have a lot of elderly people. And when we go out to recruit physicians and nurses and healthcare professionals, we're competing with urban areas that have a lot of advantages. Those healthcare facilities usually have more money to hire people, they have more amenities, and most people like to live in an urban area where they have more resources. So as we in the Greater Prescott area try to recruit healthcare professionals, we're at a disadvantage. We need healthcare professionals, and we're competing against the Greater Phoenix area and the Tucson area. So the Jewish Community Foundation, as we started to look at this problem, came up with a solution that we could solve several issues at once by developing a scholarship program. Yavapai College is one of the jewels of our community. It's a great higher institution of learning. It's extremely well respected, and particularly their nursing program is one of the best in the country, not just Arizona, but in the country. So we designed a program to provide scholarships to healthcare professionals in the fields of nursing and radiology technology for 3 reasons. Number one, it supports education, which we believe in at our Jewish Foundation. It supports healthcare, providing professionals for the healthcare profession. And most importantly, we've structured the scholarships so that we ask students to make a moral commitment at the end of their studies to try to stay in the area and care for people locally. It's not a legal commitment, it's just a moral commitment. Obviously, if they have family, they would rather move away, but we hope that the people that receive our scholarships will stay in the area. So we're trying to accomplish at least 4 goals: support education, support healthcare, supply a pipeline of highly trained healthcare professionals for the local community, and then lastly, we want to set an example for other philanthropic organizations and donors in the community to look at Yavapai College and say, we like this program. Let's get a scholarship program going for this. Maybe it's the arts, maybe it's the sciences, maybe it'll complement healthcare, to see that you can have a huge impact. Our program for the first 5 years is going to award 96 scholarships that will cover the full cost of tuition and fees for these students. So to date, it's the largest scholarship program that's ever been at Yavapai College, and we're real proud to be the people that do that. We hope 3 or 4 years from now, other organizations will establish scholarship programs of 100 or 200 or 300 scholarships, and we will no longer be the largest program on the campus.
Wow. Tell me again what the name of the program is.
The name of the scholarship program is the Jewish Foundation Healthcare Scholarship Program. The recipients who receive a scholarship will probably be called the Jewish Foundation Healthcare Scholars. The criteria to receive a scholarship is really pretty simple. The most pressing criteria is demonstration of need. Obviously, if we have a student who's gifted and who has the financial resources to pay for their own education, we don't want to waste our scholarship dollars on that individual. We'd rather provide those funds to someone who's struggling to make those kinds of payments. The second criteria that we have is that there are a number of employees at Yavapai Regional Medical Center who are either clerks or nurses' assistants or orderlies who aspire to be a nurse. And if they are accepted into the nursing program, they're given priority because we feel that after their training they would go back to Yavapai Regional to work as a nurse, and we do want to retain these people in our community. And then lastly, when the individuals are chosen, we ask them to make that moral commitment, if at all possible, to stay in our area and help treat those in need and medical need in our area. So those are the criteria. Yavapai College, through its financial department, handles all of the scholarship applications. They handle the selection of the scholars. So they handle that through the regular college administrative policies and procedures. The first scholars will begin August of this year, 2012. Because the nursing program is a 2-year program, and so is the radiology technology program, the first graduates won't be until May of 2014. Students selected for a scholarship, if they complete the first year satisfactory to the nursing program or the technology program in radiology, they are awarded a second scholarship for their second year. The program is set up so that if the student performs and passes and does their work, they will have their tuition and fees paid for not only their first year but also their second year. Yeah, good question. How do we promote our scholarship program, and how do we expand our scholarship program? And Yavapai College has taken upon themselves, they're going to develop a marketing program so that materials are provided to, say, Yavapai Regional Medical Center, the VA hospital, the local high schools, high school counselors, to let them be aware that this program is available. And it is a way for students to have an opportunity to have a real financial burden lifted from their shoulders. Because about 80% of the students in the nursing program here at Yavapai College and in the radiology program do apply for financial aid. So although the scholarship, we think, although the tuition at Yavapai College is very reasonable at a little over $3,000 a year, for many students that's a burden they can't overcome because they have a family or they're trying to work at the same time. So we believe our scholarship will ease that financial burden and let them concentrate on their studies.
How much is the scholarship generally worth? Is it a set amount, or is it...
Well, the scholarship tuitions go up each year. So for this coming year, I'm told, I think the tuition and fees for an entering nursing student is about $3,100 for the year. So those students will receive that much money to pay their scholarship and fees. In their second year, if they pass their grades and continue their studies, I think the tuition is going to go up to maybe $3,200 or $3,300. We would then pay that for them. So at the end of their 2 years, hopefully they do not have a lot of debts, and hopefully they can then enter the profession and most importantly, stay in our area.
Right, so it's really a full ride so to speak.
Well,
I mean,
it's-
full ride maybe includes the
Yeah.
housing and everything
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. But
We would like to say it is a full ride scholarship like we used to say in academics, but it's not. It takes the biggest burden, which is tuition and fees. But we also like the student to have some financial interest in their own success, and so they're going to have to buy their uniforms, which are not inexpensive, and their textbooks. And obviously they have to live somewhere and have food. So they're still having to spend some of their own dollars, but at least the tuition and fees we're going to be able to cover for them.